How's it going, Vaqueros, and welcome back to the Shotgun Haven. In today's episode, we are going to be delving back into the magical world of Modern Warfare 2022, and I'm talking about multiplayer. I've been playing a lot of Warzone, and more specifically Asika Island Resurgence. I've been enjoying it, actually. I've been having a good time. There's definitely some room for improvement, but I've been enjoying it, and going back to multiplayer was a little bit of an adjustment. I actually had to change my sensitivity back higher, but on Warzone, I play at a lower sensitivity. It's been an adjustment. Anyway, what I want to do with today's video is go over my rankings for the shotguns in Modern Warfare 2022. Now, I did this video back when the game first came out, when we only had 4 shotguns, but of course a lot has changed. There's been some balancing patches. We got a new shotgun, and of course it got nerfed recently, so I figured it'd be fun to go back and revisit this list and rank them again from worst to best. So go ahead and leave a comment down below and let me know what you guys think the ranking should be for worst to best shotgun, or just tell me what your favorite shotgun is in general. So with that being said, let's go ahead and dive into the list with the last one on the list, and that is the Lockwood 300. Now, the Lockwood 300 is by no means a bad shotgun, but just compared to the rest, it's just kind of falling flat in some ways. Now, the shotguns in this game can be pretty inconsistent. You really have to be aiming down sights. And even though the Lockwood 300 has the best one-shot kill range in class if you kit it out for range, it makes your aim down sight speed super slow, and the likeliness of you getting that one shot can be a little bit unlikely in a lot of ways, just because these shotguns, like I said, can be inconsistent. And honestly, this thing kind of falls flat because you only get 2 shots, whereas with the other ones you get a lot more, and it's a lot more forgiving. Like I said, this is by no means a bad shotgun. It's just compared to the rest, this one is just falling back slightly. And I have to point out, this is no 725 from Modern Warfare 2019, so I know a lot of people went into this game really afraid of that, but they did a good job balancing it, and I think it's in a perfect spot right now, and it's plenty rewarding if you have the accuracy for it. Now, let's go ahead and move on to the next one on the list, and that is going to be the Expedite 12. This one you probably didn't see coming, and why? Well, when I first ranked the shotguns, this was my favorite shotgun. This is a shotgun that I put on the top of the list above every other shotgun, which there's only 4, it's not saying much, but in my opinion, it was the best. Now, what changed? Well, I've been getting used to the other shotguns. I've been using them more and more. I've had a ton of playtime, and I figured that this one just kind of falls flat again compared to some of the others that we have now, but it's still a great shotgun. Like, I feel like the jump from the Lockwood 300 to the Expedite 12 is actually a pretty big one, because the Expedite 12, even though it sucks at hip firing, has a really good one-shot kill for its fire rate. Its fire rate isn't that fast, and it's kind of a hybrid between a really slow pump action and a fast-firing semi-auto. It's kind of in that weird middle ground, and you really have to treat it like a slower shooting pump action and aim down sights and get your one-shot kills. Once you learn how to play like that, this shotgun can be just so much better. And then the added bonus is that if you do miss a shot, you can kind of follow up a little bit quicker. It's kind of your backup in case things go wrong, and you can hit fire in someone's face pretty easily since it has a little bit of a faster fire rate than something like the Bryson 800. But yeah, I think this shotgun definitely a step up from the Lockwood 300, but it's not really my favorite go-to anymore, simply because it does lack a little bit in the range department, and that weird fire rate can get you killed, especially if you're trying to hit fire and sort of spam away like this is a normal semi-auto. So treat it like a slow-firing pump action, weird hybrid semi-auto thing, and aim down sights, and you'll be amazed at what this thing can do. Like I said, it is not a bad shotgun at all. It's just there's better ones on the list, in my opinion. So, on to the next pick, and that is going to be the Bryson 800 / the Bryson 890. I am lumping these two together since they're very similar. 800 has a little bit more range, 890 has better mobility, a little less range, but they're very, very similar, so I'm going to lump them together. But these pump actions are great. These are your solid, run-of-the-mill shotgun in a Call of Duty game. It is solid. Of course, it can be a little inconsistent like the other shotguns, but this thing is great. It's got just as much range as the Lockwood 300, but you got a lot of shells in the tube, a little bit of a slower fire rate, but you make up for it by having the ability to follow up shots, like a lot more shots, and you have great range and a great 2-shot kill range. The 1-shot kill range is amazing. So honestly, this is a solid shotgun. Like I said, this is your run-of-the-mill standard pump action, and this thing really doesn't disappoint. I know it can be a little inconsistent if you're hip firing, but really the fire rate isn't that bad for a pump action, and it's got great range. This is just sort of the standard. This is sort of the gold standard for a shotgun and how it should be, at least in a Call of Duty game. You have to be accurate, and as long as you're accurate, you can get some nasty and disgusting one-shot kills with this thing, and it's a blast. And I love using this thing and kitting it out for speed, using that 890 speed build I always talk about. Try that on for size. I have a few videos talking about it in Warzone and multiplayer, but one of my favorite builds. Overall, really great shotgun. But as you've seen, we now only have one more shotgun to go, and as you probably guessed it, the KV Broadside is my #1 pick for the best shotgun currently in Modern Warfare 2022. It just had to be a semi-auto spam shotgun, didn't it? Well, this thing recently did catch a nerf, and before the nerf, it was still even stronger, but after the nerf, Dragon's Breath did get its one-shot kill range reduced drastically, and it's just overall a little bit weaker, but the base gun, as in without Dragon's Breath, when you're using just 12 gauge ammo, is still a monster. You have a small one-shot kill range that goes out to about the 3 to 4 meter mark, depending on how you kit it out, which is already great for a gun that shoots this fast. That's designed for close quarters. You can increase the fire rate to get even faster follow-up shots, which is crazy, which makes it one of the most forgiving guns in the game up close. And really, this thing has insane range. And if you're wondering, why is my KV Broadside not that good? Well, I'm telling you, the secret to it is to use the Gunner barrel or the ZLR Sport 8. I prefer the Gunner since it has that 40% range increase, just like the ZLR Sport 8, but it doesn't give you as much penalty to your aim down sight speed, so I can be a little bit snappier. So I tend to run the Gunner, and this thing, oh my god, the 2-shot kill range on this thing is absolutely ridiculous, and you'll be surprised every time. When you aim down sights with the Bryson choke and that Gunner barrel, you can drop people from so far, and with the faster fire rate, with the ability to follow up shots, use a 12-round mag or using that 25-round drum mag, you can do some absolute damage with this thing. And the big thing going for this is it's so forgiving. I mean, you miss a shot up close, just spam the hell away. It really is that strong, and it is annoying to die to. I understand that completely, but I do think that this thing, given how fast everything else dies and how easy it is to use these other guns like these SMGs and ARs, you just kind of hang back and kill people super easily. I'm okay with this thing reaching out that far, but just barely. I'm almost thinking it's too much. Like, really, that 2-shot range on this thing is pretty crazy. If you haven't tried it out, you need to try it, and make sure you use that Gunner barrel, I'm telling you, and use that Bryson choke. But this thing, it's borderline still a little too strong in my opinion. I'm letting it slide a little bit, again, because of the other guns and how strong they can be, and it's really not that difficult to use them. But this thing, without a doubt, in my eyes, it's probably the best overall shotgun. It's just got that forgiveness factor to it. You can just spam away. Great one-shot kill range for how fast it shoots. Amazing 2-shot and 3-shot ranges. It's ridiculous. It's crazy. You can tear down people pretty easily with this thing, and on shipment, it's still going to be a pain in the ass to play against. But with that being said, guys, that is going to do it for this list. I hope you guys kind of found it fun to listen to me babble about these shotguns. Hopefully you guys have some interesting takes on these things. What was your #1 pick for the best shotgun? Was it one of the Brysons? Was it actually the Lockwood 300? Was it like me at launch in the Expedite 12? What's the worst shotgun? So let me know all that down below in the comments. Have I lost my mind with this list? But with all that being said, guys, I will see you in the next shotgun video.